Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth. And for today's video, we're going to do a good old-fashioned Sephora haul. So I have basically what I purchased from the Sephora Friends and Family sale, and I have another couple orders that I placed since then. So as you can tell, I am not wearing anything on my face right now, so I thought I would kind of do a little bit of a try-on haul as we go. So I have not quite a full face. I'll kind of fill in as needed. But I do have a pretty good assortment of things. As you can tell on my channel, my Sephora purchases definitely kind of tick up in the fall. I think this is the first kind of large order I've placed since the spring VIB sale. I've placed kind of orders here and there throughout the summer just to kind of pick up things for videos, but this is the first kind of major haul, if you will. So to go through what I got in the Friends and Family sale, so that's where employees of Sephora can send out basically invitation codes to people, and it's a one-time use code. You can't use it multiple times like you can for the normal VIB sale. So you do have to kind of think about it a little bit before you place your order. And the sales period was roughly when I was going to be on vacation. I think I placed my order like the last Friday, and the Sephora sale ended on like Sunday or Monday, one of those. So I got the Peace Out Retinol Eye Stick. This was, I think, half off. I don't know if this is currently available on the Sephora website, or it might have gone back up to full price. I'm not sure. But yeah, I was just kind of curious about this. I like to dabble in retinol, but I'm not kind of a diehard user of it. But yeah, this kind of intrigued me as a way to, I guess, really target where it's going. So anyway, I'll use this, I guess, and report back. But that was just a little skincare product I purchased. I don't want to use it now underneath makeup, so I'll use that later on. I got one other skincare product that I won't be demoing. This also has retinol and niacinamide. This is the Resurfacing Night Cream from Community 66, which I haven't heard anyone talk about it. I do plan to do a full brand review at some point, so I guess I'll just say don't rush out to buy this before you watch my review. That is what that looks like, is 1.7 fluid ounce. So yeah, good price point for what it's worth. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay, so as far as the actual makeup products that I got, so I did get 2 of the Westman Atelier Vital Skin Foundation Sticks because I couldn't decide what shade I wanted. So I got the shades N and 0. So I think I'll start off by just applying a little bit of moisture to my skin before I apply some of that. I'll go in with the Say Glowy Super Gel in Star Glow. So I have seen that Westman Atelier is coming out with a concealer. I will probably try it. I was kind of hoping that it would pop up on the Sephora website a little bit sooner because, spoiler alert, I did place another order today, actually. This is Labor Day as I'm filming. You may have seen, so it's over by the time you're watching this, but they had a deal where they do this frequently, but you spend $75 at once and you get 500 points essentially. And that equates to like $10 off an order if you are VIB or Beauty Insider, I guess, which always seems like a bit of a ripoff personally, especially if you're Rouge. But I had like 2,000 points. So 500 would put me at that $100 Rouge reward. And I figured, especially with the holiday releases coming up, it was a good time to kind of leapfrog into that Rouge reward. So hopefully I'm able to kind of snag one of those at some point. But anyway, I wanted to try out some different foundation sticks on the market now that I've tried like the Dior, the Fenty. I have another one here that I'll show you in a minute. So this is the shade 0. And I did swatch these in store before I purchased, but I don't know, they were all kind of, that looks really yellow. They were all kind of gunky, so I wasn't really sure what would be the best match for me. So anyway, so I am thinking of picking up their concealer, and then this is N. I think that's better. So maybe I'll return that other one because these aren't cheap, even at 20% off. Their serum kind of foundation was 20% off for the Labor Day holiday. That wasn't like a code, that was just the marked price. And I've heard a lot of people kind of speak negatively about that product. Let me put some corrector on, especially in talking about the Patrick Ta foundation. And I did go into Sephora today when I was at the mall, as you do. And I was just swatching it because I was curious about it. I'll come back to Patrick Ta later on in the video, but yeah, I swatched the new foundation, and I think it is a little bit confusing, the shade range. I think my best shade would actually be the Ferris, which is a golden shade. So I don't know. Generally, I'm pretty neutral, and I'll put what this is supposed to be down on the bottom of the screen, but yeah, sometimes it's hard to find a good either truly neutral shade or neutral leaning rosy without being too pink. I watched, this is the BK106 brush. I watched Simply Blair, her review of the Patrick Ta, and she said that she's actually a big fan of Patrick Ta, which, not that I have anything against him personally, but with the exception of his blushes, I haven't really been super impressed with his line. I did a review of his earlier foundation, which I don't think anyone really liked that I've seen. So I do have dry skin, so I was kind of intrigued by the idea of his foundation, but with my history of the brand, I wasn't like, I don't know, immediately on board. Okay, so that is the shade match. I think it looks better now that it's kind of blended out a bit. I was kind of messing with my lighting a little bit because I felt like in my last video, I had more of a shadow on this side of the face because like the kitchen lights are on this side. So I wanted to kind of, I don't know, fill in a little bit. So hopefully everything looks good and sounds good. I always try to make whatever tweaks I can to kind of get to the best quality in my videos. But you know, it's always a work in progress. So I think I'll quickly do some brows. Again, I'm kind of working my way through all these billion-dollar brow products that they sent me in PR. And this isn't sponsored or anything, but because they send them to me, I like to at least give them a shot. This is the Tinted Brow Gel in Taupe. I tried the, ooh, that's, okay. I think the tinted brow gels are not for me, is what I'm learning. The other one I tried, that just looks too dark, doesn't it? I'm gonna try and, I guess, wipe that off. The last one that I tried in blonde, I think was too warm. And that just looked too dark. I have liked their, let me fill in the foundation a little bit. Their brow lifter gel, which I might use in a second. That and their kind of normal brow pencil for me have been the best. Their just regular clear brow gel is a little bit too flexible for my taste. I like a little bit more hold. So this is the e.l.f. brow gel, which is really great. And this is also, yeah, this is in the shade Taupe as well. So really great, affordable drugstore brow gel. And I think it's maybe a tad darker on that side because I had that other product in it for a second. I'm not sure if I can really even them out that well, but Anyway, so this is the brow lifter gel that I was talking about. Does give a little bit more hold to it. So yeah, so if you're new to this channel, welcome. But I do like to review a variety of brands. Like you saw, I just used Westman Atelier. I have videos about Dior. But I also review e.l.f. and Profusion. So I'm kind of equal opportunity when it comes to makeup. If it's good, it's good. You know, and you can consider things like price point and packaging and value, talking about the actual quality for the price. But yeah, I don't see any reason not to kind of talk about everything. I know some people are exclusively luxury and that kind of thing, which is fine. But yeah, I like to do a variety. So let me grab a concealer, as if I don't have like 20 within reach. But I wanted to grab the Tower 28 concealer. So I do like to hold on to the packaging for various products, just because if I need to reference the ingredients or anything like that, I still have it. So this is the Tower 28 concealer in 1.0 BH. I think I'm one of the few people that wasn't like absolutely in love with this product, but I did pick up the powders. So I figured I might as well apply this. Sometimes it's good to revisit things as well. And, you know, Tower 28 is on the more affordable side when it comes to Sephora brands. So that's good. I really, speaking of that retinol eye stick, sometimes I can really notice in my under eyes. And I did my skincare a few hours ago now. I actually was wearing makeup earlier and I washed my face and did all that, and then my face has just been kind of hanging out. So let me go wet my beauty blender. I think it might be time to retire this particular one as well. I think the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale might have the beauty blender in one of the days. I often do. It also shows up in a lot of the holiday kits, which we should be seeing soon. I don't recall exactly why I wasn't like bowled over by this concealer. Maybe it's just a combination of the shade. I think it's a tad yellow. I don't know. It just doesn't really do the most, perhaps. But anyway, moving on. So before I set anything, I think I will apply some contour. So I already did a review of these products, the contour and the foundation, comparing them specifically to the similar Fenty products, because I don't know, I always like to think of a way to present information or present different information from, I guess, what most people are doing, or at least what I've seen so far on the platform. This is a little bit difficult to be precise, but yeah, because I don't see the need to like reinvent the wheel when it comes to YouTube. I think with some types of products like complexion, it can be helpful to see kind of multiple, I think that blended in really nicely with the Westman Atelier. It can be helpful to see multiple people with like different skin tones, different skin types review a product, because then you have like the more complete picture. And if you can find someone who has similar or a similar skin tone and type to you, it's probably going to be more beneficial. So there's that. But yeah, I try to think of what a viewer might want to know and kind of frame my videos that way. For some videos anyway. For some like this, it's just kind of whatever. Let's move on to the powder. So I actually repurchased the Tower 28 tinted sunscreen from the Tower 28 website. because they were having a promo where you got the 2 little powder puffs for free. So I kind of thought, why not? I did have to chuck my old one of these because it had expired. So this is a nice kind of basic everyday tinted moisturizer, SPF 30. And this is in the shade Fairfax is what I have. So I ended up getting 2 of their powders. I got the Palisades Pink and the Translucent Trestles, I guess. So I did see this in store, and that is the Translucent Trestles, just a kind of normal white translucent color. What they're calling as a pink shade doesn't really look all that pink. I mean, that is it next to the translucent. It's really, I don't know, it's like it's almost like a pale peach is what I'll call it. Like really, really soft. It's not, and you can see it on the hand. It's not really going to be as pink, I think, as some products on the market, but there you can kind of see the difference on my hand. The translucent is the one on the top. So anyway, let's see how they look on the face. While I'm getting into this, I will mention that I think in that Fenty and Dior video, I had the 00 Neutral shade in the foundation. And when I applied that, I thought perhaps it was a touch light. So as part of this order, I purchased the 0N. So that's 00N. So you have the other one here. For whatever reason, it was canceled as part of that initial order. So that's the difference between 00 and 0N. So I have worn this 0N already, and I don't know. I think, as usual, I'm probably kind of in between. So I can kind of, I don't know, use both of them now that I have them. But anyway, I was just going to say that for whatever reason, in this 20% off friends and family order, they canceled it saying it was out of stock, but then I went onto the website and it showed it as being in stock, which was really frustrating and annoying. So I don't know if it was just at that particular like fulfillment center and they wanted to ship everything together. I don't know how they operate. So anyway, that was annoying, but they did have, I'll talk about in a moment, like a 10% off 100 deal going on shortly thereafter. So I ended up purchasing it then with a lesser discount. But anyway, so this is Palisades Pink that'll go in. I think for a powder, like I'm all for, it's interesting having a puff with a pressed powder like this. I'm all for things being environmentally friendly, but I think I would very much appreciate having a mirror with a powder. I think more so than most other products, like a blush, that kind of thing. Bronzer, because they do tend to be larger, it's sometimes helpful to have it for travel, but anyway. So I think this does a decent job. Let me know if you think it's blurring. These are fun little kind of finger puffs here. So I'll show you just what it looks like, kind of the set and unset. And I'm just going over my entire face. So yeah, definitely took away a good bit of the shine. So that is the Palisades Pink. I don't think these have magnets either. And again, I understand from like an environmental perspective, but I would rather have either just a plain metal pan sold by itself or like forever components. I did want to say on that topic, and I've thought about filming like a will I buy it, kind of targeted towards some of the new releases, new holiday releases coming out. I do like what Denona Myricks is doing with her holiday palette, because I think it is fully customizable and the pans are removable, which I think is great. So you can kind of have the best of both worlds. So I think it's really interesting kind of what she did. Okay, so on this side is the translucent trussels. And on that side is the Palisades pink. So far I like it. It does, I think, mattify things quite a bit. I think it obviously does some blurring because it mattifies. I think under my eyes, it might look a touch dry. Let's get up close and personal here. I do have dry skin. It might be a tad much. I think next time I use these, I will use a brush because I think that will obviously apply less. So yeah, I'll keep playing with these, but so far so good. I haven't heard any kind of either rave or absolute horrible reviews of it, so I'm not really sure. I should have done, actually, now that I think about it, I had a cream blush, but we'll come back to that. Speaking of Fenty and Dior, I did purchase 3 of the new blushes, so I do need to do kind of another dedicated Fenty video. I just wanted to space it out a little bit. So I got 2 shades that had a corresponding shade in the cream formula, and then this one in Baking Cakes. I did see these in person after they launched in Ulta. So I thought this was a really pretty color. Baking Cakes. And then I got the Petal Poppin' and Summertime Wine, which are both in the cream formula as well. So it looks a little scary in the pan, but when I swatched it, it actually has a nice sheen to it. It actually does blend out fairly nicely. So I think if I go in with a light hand, I can definitely kind of make that work. This Baking Cakes is going to be more neutral. So I'll swatch that one as well. Really nice. And then finally the Petal Poppin'. So a little bit more of a brighter pink than I typically go for, but yeah, I thought that one would be really pretty too. So anyway, so I'll apply those in a dedicated kind of Fenty video. Talking about what's left for this order. So I got the Tower 28 one-liner, multi-liner in Paint My Number. So I'd gotten a couple of these shades. I did a like full Tower 28 video at one point. So I'd gotten a couple of these, but they did release some new shades. So just kind of get rid of some of the residue there. So I do like these. It's a little bit browner maybe than I thought it would be. One of the main reasons why I got it was I saw Dev on Instagram talk about how it was so good with the Rhode Peptide Lip Tint in Salty Tan, which I'd already purchased. And because the Tower 28 liners are so kind of cheap by Sephora standards, I kind of thought, why not? So I haven't tried this yet, I don't think. I mean, it is a really good color combination. I think this one is doing the gritty thing that people talk about. Like it has those little kind of beads of wax or whatever. So I picked this up a while ago with the blush in Sleepy Girl and the Glazing Milk, which I have been enjoying. But yeah, I think what people have said about these, just trying to build up a little bit of a swatch. I have the Peptide Lip Treatment here in Cocoa Cream from Ole Henriksen. Just want to see how close these are. I think that Ole Henriksen is going to be a little bit deeper and a little bit browner, but I think if you want a similar effect on the lips, I would probably recommend going with these. They also sell those at Sephora and Ulta. unlike Rhodes. So it's a little bit easier to find as well. Okay, so that was it. Aside from, I did get the mini of the Kayali Capri in a bottle, lemon sugar. And I did feel a little vindicated because when they first released that set, I figured there was a good chance they would release them separately at some point. To be honest, I think it was kind of a dick move on their part to do it that way, because I think a lot of people did pick up the full set, which was like $100 as opposed to like 20, 30, whatever this was. And I wasn't really interested in all of them. So this is Capri in a bottle. Let me find something that I can spray here. All right, have some paper and yeah, I do like that. I feel like there must be other brands that do something very similar, like a sweet lemon. But yeah, I do like it. I watched a lot of the kind of ranking videos when those came out, but anyway. So that was it for the actual kind of friends and family order. I did get an Innisfree sunscreen sample, which is chemical, so I won't use that. And the Jo Malone, I don't know, whatever this is. If they're not sprays, so kind of has minimal value, really, but anyway, looks pretty. So like I said, that was it for the friends and family. And then I did get just a couple things when they had that second deal. It's really depressing how little you get and how small the boxes are when you spend like $100 at Sephora. So like I said, I got the other shade of the Dior. And is anyone else invested in the kind of Dior loyalty program? You get some really great stuff. Like you can just go on TikTok or whatever and see everyone opening the gifts or seeing how everything is packaged. Like they always do things very, very beautifully. But they announced that they are going to be kind of changing the pricing structure. So it's actually going to be more difficult to hit the higher levels. I guess too many people caught on and Dior has to make it more exclusive now. So they're calling it like Dior Privé. So I used to say like, you know, purchase from Dior because you get loyalty gifts and that kind of thing, but they're making it a little bit less attractive to do that, I guess. But anyway, so what did I get? I got the Westman Atelier Mini Blush, the Petite Baby Cheeks Blush Stick in Doo Doo, which apparently is a limited edition shade. I don't think the full size of this is limited edition, but the mini is. And I ended up using the Petal mini on vacation a lot, so I kind of figured why not go for the other shade. So that one is Petal, and that is Doo Doo. Worst name, but anyway. I still have all my travel makeup in the case. I was thinking I might kind of film what I brought on vacation, but I don't know if anyone truly cares at this point. I do have a couple of, at least one video of what I packed on a longer trip. I have since kind of narrowed it down a little to like the Charlotte Tilbury case. And I know they have similar cases on Amazon, so you don't have to get the Charlotte Tilbury one if you are interested in something like that. So I'm just going to pick this up on a BK A507. And if I hadn't already powdered, I might draw it on, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I really should have done this before powdering, but I was trying to tell a little bit more of a story, you know? Okay, so really, really pretty color, a little bit deeper for fall, winter. Because they say it's limited edition, I don't know how limited it truly is. I figured I might as well snag it. And unless you use these every day, I think they're going to last you a bit. So I guess I'm definitely team mini when it comes to a lot of products. Also makes it great for travel, obviously. This one is 0.09 ounces or 2.5 grams. I'll put how much the full size is down on the screen. The only thing about these though is that I wish there was some color indicator on the package, because otherwise these minis anyway look the same. So yeah, very, very pretty. So like I said, I'm strongly tempted to try out the concealer, but I might wait until the Sephora VIB sale because it is quite pricey. So this is the skincare complexion drops that I mentioned earlier. So I might give those a shot. I probably have a few samples of this at this point, so I could probably get enough product to make up a full face. And then I also got a sample of the Skin Fix Barrier Plus Triple Lipid Peptide Cream, which I have used before, at least in the older formulation. I think they might have reformulated it slightly. But anyway, Skin Fix is a great brand if you do have more dry, sensitive skin. Okay, and the last product here from this order was the Eadem lip softening balm. And Eadem did reach out to me on ShopMy, which is the affiliate program that I use. And I should be getting some PR from them. So I picked out the remaining tinted balms. I did pay for this one myself, so I might do some kind of like little reel or something swatching those. So this is in the shade Bsop Glaze. It looks like it would be a pretty berry color. Haven't tried it yet. And this also doesn't have like a color indicator. Just in case you were thinking of picking up a few. Metal applicator, which is always nice. Definitely on the thicker side. So definitely more of a sheer wash. I won't be able to speak to any kind of lip softening effects in real time. It feels nice. It's not like the most kind of glossy on the lips, but it's a pretty color. It might, I was checking to see whether it was kind of sinking into my lip lines. I don't think it is. I think my lip lines are still visible though, so if you want something that's going to be a little bit more kind of skimming over the top and covering up any lip lines, I don't know that this will be the product, but it is a pretty color. Okay, so that was it for that one. And then I have one final order. And this I don't really have any excuse other than there was a video I wanted to film. So I did get the LYS Triple Fix Serum Skin Tint Stick. I got it in their lightest shade, which is LN1. You may have seen, if you have been subscribed to me for a while, I did a video about LYS when they first launched in 2021, I believe. And unfortunately, it did not go super well, especially with their foundation. So like I said, I've been on a bit of a stick foundation kick lately. And I was, I guess, encouraged to see that they released this shade. The components do match the shade inside, by the way. So if you wanted multiple shades for whatever reason, so that is what that looks like. So yeah, so the lightest shade in the previous foundation, does roll back down, which is nice, was LN3, I believe, or at least the lightest neutral shade. There was LN3, and then there was LG1, which was golden undertones, and then LP4. So yeah, that should actually be pretty good. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing a full LYS focused video, kind of revisiting the brand. So I got the foundation stick. This was kind of coming out around the same time as the Patrick Ta foundation, and I was thinking kind of both the LYS and the Patrick Ta as being kind of like revisiting brands where I didn't like their first foundation launch. I might still pick up the Patrick Ta. Like I said, I was swatching it in store today. I might wait for the VIB sale because, I mean, it's $58. So that is a risk when it's gotten kind of mixed reviews. Whereas this, I want to say, is $25 for the foundation. I also picked up their No Limits Cream Bronzer Stick in the shade Hope, which is their lightest shade. And I do have a couple other shades that I've gotten from like Ipsy and that kind of thing that I can swatch with this. And then I also got one of their cream blush sticks. So I'll be doing a LYS focused video. I have some other LYS products I've gotten, and I've pulled some of the old favorites as well to include in that video. So anyways, that was like a video focused purchase, I guess. I did get as a deluxe sample the Crown Texturizing Air Dry Mousse. So this is 1 fluid ounce, pretty good sample. I did see there was like a mini travel kit that included this, so I was thinking about picking that up, but obviously better to get it for free. And then I got 2 more samples of these guys. So yeah, so that is it as far as what I picked up from Sephora until today anyway. What did I buy today? You should see most of these in upcoming videos. I did pick up the new CL concealer. I have a whole brand review of CL, so I figured might as well check out their new concealer. I picked up the new Kayali Ray blush and just some other kind of random things that were on sale. So yeah, those should be popping up soon. I did pick up from Nordstrom because I mentioned it in a previous video. I did pick up the YSL Bronzer in the lightest shade, and I thought I might just quickly apply some of that. I did apply this earlier today, actually, and I thought it looked actually kind of nice. So it's a little deceptive because it doesn't look like it's going to do much, and it doesn't do a whole lot, but I think it does help just to kind of warm the complexion up a little without reading as a bronzer. So I thought, especially going into fall, winter, this might be nice. And I also wanted to just kind of have it as a reference when the blushes come out, whenever that is. All right, so I think I might hop off camera and apply some eyeshadow. So I didn't actually pick up any eye products, which is very, very strange. But I guess that's kind of the state of the world we're living in right now. So I didn't pick up any eye products from Sephora, but I did get the Natasha Denona I Need a Worm palette from the Natasha Denona website. They did actually include this as a little kind of freebie, which was nice. This is the shade Silk from the Bronze palette. Yeah, Bronze palette. So I think I might hop off camera. So I think I'll apply this, but I'll kind of speed through it just so we're not sitting here forever. And then I'll come back just to share some initial thoughts with you. All right, so for the eye look, I started off with the Fenty eye primer, as I usually do, and just blended that in with my fingers. And then to set that, I used the Charlotte Tilbury powder with a discontinued e.l.f. brush, unfortunately. Peeling off the mirror there, and then going in first with the shade Mellow, which is a creamy matte on a Sigma Large Fluff E50 brush. And then applying that same shade under the lower lashes with the Sonia G Flat Definer brush. This helps prevent creasing. Taking Ripe, which is also a creamy matte on a Sonia G Classic Crease. Going a little bit above my natural crease because I have hooded lids, and creating that kind of angled shape out at the outer corner. And then going into Soft Spot, which is also a creamy matte on a Sonia G Mini Booster, just a little bit more of a concentrated shape, like I just did. And these Sonia G brushes are all part of their Sky Eye set. So taking the Classic Crease again and just going over and blending to make sure that everything is nice and diffused. And then I will take a little bit more of Ripe just to help blend even further. So then taking the Rephr 28 brush with Fancy is a metallic shade, and focusing that on the inner third of the lid. And then next up I have the shade Homey which is a metal gloss shade, and taking that on the outer 2/3 of the lid. That is one of the new formulas. And then with Dynamism is a duochrome shade, and taking that on the very outer corner of the eyes. So to kind of bump up the payoff, I'm using the Lisa Eldridge setting spray and going back in with Homey on the center of the lid towards the outer corner, and then also doing the same with Fancy, basically just going over where I initially put those shades. And then I finished by using a Lisa Eldridge liner and my Tarte mascara. All right, so there you have it. I kept it pretty light, pretty neutral on the eyes. I'll either do a voiceover or just describe what I'm doing either on the screen or in the description box. But yeah, I am perfectly content with this. I think there's been a lot of criticism about the name or just how boring this palette is. For someone of my complexion, it's really nice to have a warmer option like the I Need a Nude because I think as someone said, I forget who it was, but this is kind of the low intensity version of like the bronze palette, like this one, something like this. So it's a little bit easier to apply, again, to someone of my complexion. I think these types of colors really do look nice with blue eyes. So although I do like the cool tones of I Need a Nude, again, it's nice to have these, especially going into fall. I think of warmer tones a lot when we go into fall. Although this is a very kind of peach leaning palette, so maybe it should have been I Need a Peach, although maybe that would have been too specific for Natasha Denona, I don't know. So yeah, I do need to still film my Pantone peach video. I've been putting that off, but yeah, I'm perfectly content with that palette. I think I did have a tiny bit of fallout, but it really brushed away pretty easily. And I think because of the way I powdered, especially, like, it just felt very smooth, kind of sweeping away any fallout. So that was a plus. But I think that's really all I have for this video. So let me know down below if you've tried any of these products, what you think of them, or if you'd like to see me feature any of these products in particular in an upcoming video. I can try to focus on that. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. So I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.